Hello and welcome to Candidates on the Clock, hosted by the Newton Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Dual Deco Search Engine Marketing and Onyx Media Services. I'm your host, Lanier Sims. Today we're joined by John Bryant, who's running for Clerk of Court. Mr. Bryant, can you please introduce yourself and describe your background in legal administration or relevant fields? Additionally, could you share your platform for Clerk of Courts and explain your motivations for seeking this election?
All right, thank you. Also, I would like to thank the Newton County Chamber of Commerce for having me today. Again, my name is John Bryant, and I am a candidate for Newton County Clerk of Superior Court. I am originally from the low country of South Carolina, a small town called Estill, South Carolina. About 15 years ago, I moved to Georgia, and at that same time, I started working with the DeKalb County Clerk of Superior Court. I currently serve as the criminal court manager, where I supervise over 24 deputy clerks. I also provide training. I train judges, attorneys, and other government agencies on processes and procedures according to Georgia law and the Superior Court uniform rules. I want to bring my experience and my expansive knowledge to Newton County, the place where I've lived for these past 8 years along with my wife and children. What motivated me to run? Hey, I've been doing this for 15 years. I started from the bottom. I originally came in as a entry-level position where I started at the front counter, criminal window. I was then promoted to a courtroom assigned to a judge for about 10 years. After that, my boss saw fit that I could serve as a senior level management position, and here I am as the criminal court support manager for the DeKalb County Clerk of Superior Court, one of the largest counties in this state.
Thank you. So we're going to jump into a few questions. Question number one, how do you plan to improve efficiency in court proceedings and reduce case backlogs?
That's a great question. That's something we tackled in DeKalb. Our backlog was about 15,000. So what we did was we brought in more senior judges. Although we have 10 Superior Court judges, we assigned a lot of backlog cases that were indicted or accused during COVID or during the COVID pandemic. So we had our senior judges come in to tackle those cases, and we still have that in place today. And that's something I would love to bring to Newton County. But first, we just need the technology to make that happen, because you have Zoom meetings and you have WebEx. So you can have court from the convenience of your home if you're an attorney or even if you're the defendant. I think with those things in place, first, it has to be the technology. We need the technology in place first to make that happen.
Thank you. So this next question is a two-part question. I'll ask the first one and let you respond, and then we'll ask the second part. So how do you plan to ensure equal access to the court system and legal resources for all residents, both online and offline?
All right, so to answer that question, it's a very good question. It has to start with technology. We need the technology in place, and that's when we start with our case management system, so that we can give the citizens as well as the end users like the court staff, court personnel, and IT access to the system. Equal access, like for instance, for example, you have TPOs now that the clerk's office is responsible for. As a clerk of court, I cannot give legal advice. However, I think it would be best that we reach out to our local law enforcement agencies and other community organizations to tackle that, because you're going to have people who comes in as a pro se litigant who just doesn't have the resources to afford legal counsel. So I think that equal access is pushing them in the direction of pro bono attorneys or the public defender's office, or like I said, other agencies within the county.
Okay. The second part, what strategies will you employ to educate the public about court procedures, rights, and responsibilities?
Again, that's just information, valuable information that the public needs to know. I'll partner with the churches, the senior centers, the schools, again, all stakeholders within the county. And we live in, it's 2024, we're in a technical world, so online access is key to informing the general public about what's going on within the clerk's office. Every year you see laws being passed down from the Gold Dome that affects the clerk's office, which ultimately affects the citizens on the end. So I will do that. I'll go to the churches. I'm going to the senior centers. I'm partnering with the DA's office, our public defender's office. I'm going to let the people know what's going on in our community, within the court system, and how it affects them.
Thank you. Our next question, how do you intend to maintain accurate and secure court records while ensuring compliance with legal requirements?
That's a great question again. The role of the clerk is to maintain and manage all criminal and civil filings. We're also the legal custodian for all land and property records. It is important that we file documents in a timely manner, and that at the time of recording, that information is accurate. But it starts with training and development. I have to train my staff from what I know. Remember, I started from the bottom. I started at the front counter. We have virtual front counters now. That's our online portals. But when you walk into the courthouse, my team are going to be educated about what they're doing. Again, I do want to teach my staff. Like I said, I started from the bottom. I started at the front window. I went to the courtrooms. Now I'm in a leadership position. I have training on those 3 levels. And to stay in compliance, I have to make sure I am abiding by the rules of the Georgia law, again, and the Superior Court uniform rules.
Thank you. How will you support staff members' professional development and ensure that they have the necessary skills to perform their duties? Again,
that starts with training and development. My current boss, Deborah D. Barry, the clerk of Superior Court in DeKalb County, we meet every Wednesday for training. I meet with my current team, my over 24 deputy clerks bi-weekly, because it's such a large office, for training and development. And I will continue that here in Newton County because we're a smaller office, there's around 13 to 15 individuals there. So I can provide weekly training on what I know, but I'm making sure, again, that we're abiding by all Georgia law and the Superior Court uniform rules. I want to keep people on my staff, so I have to treat my employees right. I have to do good by them. I have to set examples. I have to be a great leader so that they can see that development in me, because I want them to stay. I don't want to be in the clerk's office for the rest of my life, but I want them to develop so that they can take on those roles later on.
Thank you. How will you collaborate with legal professionals and other stakeholders to improve court services?
That's a great question. Back on April 13th, what we did in DeKalb County, we collaborated with local agencies, the district attorney's office, our solicitor generals, the DeKalb County Sheriff Department, and other local organizations. We had one of the largest record restriction days in the history of that county. And that's something I will want to do here in Newton County by partnering with our district attorney's office and our sheriff department.
Thank you, and thank you for participating in Candidates on the Clock. At this time, could you close us out with any additional information about you, your campaign, and how the voters can get in touch with you?
All right, thank you. Again, my name is John Bryant, and I am the candidate with the experience that matters to be your next clerk of Superior Court here in Newton County. You can reach me by going to jbryantforclerk.com. That's jbryantforclerk.com. Or you can call me, 404-695-8540. I am accessible.
Thank you.